All right, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with a Veteran. As always, I'm your host, Dave Rogers. To all my brothers and sisters out there deployed overseas, wherever you are, know that we love you, we miss you, we're thinking about you, we hope you come home safe soon. To all my brothers and sisters here struggling, going through some hard times, know that we're here for you. Know that you matter. Your story isn't over, okay? The world is better with you here than on the other side. All right, so today I'm going to make up a little Irish beef stew, Grunt style. So I'm going to start by prepping the vegetables, and as you see, I'm adding some sweet potato. Add a nice little sweetness to it. And a little turnip, some multicolored baby carrots, and some multicolored potatoes. And now that the vegetables are cut, let's get into the meat. All right, got a nice chuck here. I'm just going to cut this up into about 1-inch pieces. And I'm just going to season with a little bit of salt, some pepper, and some paprika. All right, got the cast iron nice and hot. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to brown up my meat. Listen to that sizzle. All right, now that the meat is nice and brown, I'm going to remove it. You notice I got a nice roux building up there. Throw in half a stick of Kerrygold butter. Put in my onion, celery, and carrot. And I'm just going to let that saute up. And once the onions are nice and sauteed, almost translucent, I'm going to go ahead and add in my garlic, little tomato paste, and I'm going to deglaze the bottom by putting in some of my Guinness. And I'm going to let that come to a boil. All right, now that the broth is boiling, I'm going to add a little bit of green peppercorn. Love some fresh green peppercorn. And I'm going to add back in my meat. I'm going to cover with another Guinness, and I'm going to let that cook for about 20 minutes on a medium. All right, so the meat's been cooking about 20 minutes, looking great. Got my oven started. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in 1 can of crushed tomato, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in my vegetables. I'm going to mix that in, and I'm going to add some vegetable broth. Now, I don't want to fill it all the way. I want to leave about, I would say about an inch and a half from the top, so that this way it doesn't boil over. But I want to make sure that all the vegetables and meat are covered. Dash more salt and pepper, a little more paprika, and add in some bay leaf and a little fresh Italian parsley. I'm going to lower that down, cover it up, and let it cook on top of the stove for about 40 minutes. Checking on it about halfway through to see how it's doing. All right, so the stew has been sitting on top of the stove for about 40 minutes. You can see it looks great, okay? I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cover it back up, stick it in the oven for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we'll check back in on it. All right, so the stew's been in the oven for about an hour and a half. Let's check on it. Absolutely gorgeous. And the way that I check that if it's ready, I poke my fork in the potatoes and the carrots, and they're nice and tender, and the meat is nice and tender. Beautiful beef stew, Grunt style. All right, so the stew is done. Let's give it a try. Beautiful taste. Hope you enjoyed joining me on this episode of Cooking with a Veteran. As always, please make sure you like, share, and follow. To all my brothers and sisters out there deployed overseas, wherever you are, know that we love you, we miss you, we're thinking about you. And until next time, hoorah.